So what's going on, everybody? JA News. Salute to you for tuning in. So it's the Monday show. We're going to be catching up on all the latest sneaker updates. I'll be sprinkling a few of my opinions here and there. We got a user submission for today's fit of the day, and then you're not going to want to miss our main story, as rumors have been floating around now for quite some time, but it looks like things are now confirmed. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the biggest Jordan release of 2025. Well, at least so far, and it's coming real soon. Stay tuned, guys. You're watching JA News. Let's go ahead and kick things off with some quick updates. So they're over here talking about the trend. Boots only summer has taken over social media, with teenagers rocking soccer cleats outside casually. Now, my guess is this got to be more of like a UK type of thing or something like that. So for all of our bros across the pond, if you guys could do me a favor and confirm what type of activity we got going on right here. Now, as far as this being like the next big trend to hit the mainstream, I would look at this as more of like an attempt to go viral on TikTok or something like that, just due to the fact that rocking cleats like off the field really isn't functional at all. Although we are seeing a lot of these like indoor soccer trainers definitely becoming a lot more popular, but as far as this one right here, nah, I think this is more like just cap for people to try to go viral on the internet. And if you were to pull off stunt like this back in the day, you already know your parents probably would have slapped the fire out you. So let's go ahead and keep things moving. Now, next up, we got a little sneaky release from Jordan Brand, as they just out of nowhere, it seems like they dropped the Jordan 1 Mid New Love, which you're probably wondering like, JA, why are you showcasing Jordan 1 Mids over here on your channel? Well, for all of the youngsters watching, you know, back in the day when Jordan Brand was doing real cool things like dropping various Jordan Brand packs, they actually released the Jordan 1, this was called the Beginning Moments pack. So this was before the countdown packs. I want to say this is like right after they dropped the classic Defiance Moments package. So of course, as y'all see right here, this consists of two Jordan 1 mid colorways. So you got the Chicago's as well as this yellow and black pair, which I guess were kind of cool back in the day or whatever, due to the fact that they did drop them in packs. We weren't getting too many Jordan retro releases, but I would say these joints have kind of like aged like milk. And what I actually didn't know was that Jordan Brand actually brought these back a few different times. Last one was in 2017, and then we had the reverse New Love in 2018. So you learn something new every day. For anybody that's interested in these, I would probably say to stay away from these joints, you know, unless you have nostalgia and everything like that. But these are available right now via Shaq Chic, however you pronounce it. They're asking $134.99, and you got just about a full size run. So surprisingly, feels like these joints low-key kind of dropped out of nowhere. So next up here, we got a first look at the Jordan 1 Low OG Chicago. Now, ever since we first heard about these, this was one that was on a lot of people's radar. You know, you got the low top interpretation of the classic Chicago, also the return of the big swoosh. So it's a recipe for success. Now, just a little warning, disclaimer, this comes from one of those kind of like suspect sneaker accounts which may be pushing fakes out there. I'm not really sure, so just take it all with a grain of salt. But as far as the early impressions, I'm hearing some people saying that the color on this seems to be a little bit off, as well as the swoosh. So we'll go ahead and wait for like the final product to reserve judgment. But again, this is going to be a big one. People are definitely checking for coming up this fall. Originally planned to drop in October. They may be a little bit delayed as of right now, but you guys already know once these joints drop, definitely going to be exciting, one that people will definitely be hyped for. So let's go ahead and keep things moving. We got a first look at another Jordan release. Here we got the Jordan 5 Wings. Now, as y'all know, Jordan Brand, they're celebrating the 40th anniversary. It's the 35th anniversary of the Jordan 5. Now, when I first heard of the Jordan 5 Wings, I'm thinking of that Wings poster, like, you know, the joint that everybody had hanging over their bedroom, over their bed, on their bedroom wall, you know, that classic Jordan Wings poster. But as far as the finished product, I guess like if you have really nothing good to say, you should just kind of keep it to yourself. These do feature that little in this family, no one flies alone, little stitching on the front area, a little tassel. So I don't know if these have like a graduation theme or something like that. And they also do feature 10, where normally you would see that 23. So we'll have to wait and see what the whole rollout story is about these. But as far as the release, it looks like these are going to be dropping coming up this fall, and they actually do happen to fall under the women's category. So I would have to say these are definitely a little bit disappointing, if you ask me. And then we got a first look here at the Jordan 5 Awake NY. These are called Black Racer Blue. Now, when it comes to Awake NY, they definitely set things off with the first look of the pink joints. You know, Sneakerheads were huge fans of the redesign of the upper featuring the Awake NY logo. You got the little NY right there. So a real cool looking sneaker. Now, as far as the black pair, which I would have to say, based off the first impressions, they're cool. I see that like they are trying to like kind of do something different. At least they're not like looking exactly like the black metallic 5. So I see like they kind of try to take things into a different direction. I'm not a big fan of the choice of leather on here. I don't know if this is like a GS or a kid's pair, but something's just kind of throwing me off. So I guess out of the two, my favorite would be the pink, but I guess there's gonna be another highly anticipated collaboration from Jordan Brand. They're doing big things with the Jordan 5s. I like both of these, but I would say the black joint is a little disappointing, but again, the cool thing is they are separating it, bringing something different to the table than just giving us like a rehash of the black metallic 5. So I would say the pink is definitely the standout of the pack, which it looks like both of these are set to drop sometime coming up here this fall. So we're gonna go ahead and jump here into today's fit of the day, my favorite segment of the day, which if any of y'all ever want to be featured here, all you simply got to do is just tag me over on the gram. That way I see you right over here in the tag section of my IG profile. Now for today's fit here, we got 91.GG stepping up to the plate. So as y'all see right here, my man's just looking like he's about to attend his high school luau. I don't know about y'all, but like back in the day, we used to have the little luau Hawaii party joint where everybody used to rock the beads and everything, the Hawaiian shirts, you know how it goes and everything like that. The only thing that's throwing me off right here about my man's is, I ain't gonna lie, bro, looks like he's almost pushing 30. So I know he ain't going to no high school event or something like that. But maybe it was like a nice day outside, he was trying to get the shorts off or something like that. But as far as the footwear, I ain't even gonna lie, bro went crazy rocking the real Jordan Olympics right here. You got the 7s, which I guess would have dropped back, or Jordan would have rocked those back in 92. Definitely go crazy. I'm always been a huge fan of that sneaker right here. And I would say low key, them Olympic 7s might be one of the most low key Jordan summertime releases of our time. So as far as the footwear, bro, definitely got some good feats on. For this fit right here, I'm gonna give him like a 4 out of 10. Definitely went crazy with the footwear right here. So y'all know what to do. Jump in the comments, give this one a rating 0 out of 10. And with those quick updates out of the way, let's go ahead and jump here into our main story. So we got a big update here surrounding the Union Fragment collaboration, which isn't set to drop until 2026, spring of 2026. So previously it was reported that we had these 2 pairs dropping. The first one was the blue and black joint with the white sole. Then there was like this kind of like panda type of vibe. And then it looks like we have a 3rd pair hitting the mix. Now, as far as those first 2 pairs, you guys already know if you follow the sneaker scene, I would say off the first impressions, those were releases that nobody was really, well, I guess a lot of people weren't too keen of, I would say. But as far as this 3rd one, it looks like it's continuing that signature Union theme, as you kind of got the mashup of 2 different Jordan models, which on the upper, you got the Chicago versus the bottom, you got that OG Fragment in there. Now, what I would say though, based off of what we're seeing right here, as y'all see, it is important to note, remember guys, this is just a mock-up photo, but according to Brandon and Sneaker Market RO, they're saying this is what we should expect as far as the color blocking goes and everything like that. So that's a plus. But as y'all see, the first 2 pairs, they got that all white sole. So my guess is Jordan Brand might actually hit us with that 3rd pair with that full white sole, which I think that's a design element that could throw some people off, but we'll have to wait on it. Remember, these aren't dropping until spring of 2026. And due to the fact that we got 3 pairs based off the way the Union, they like to release stuff, my guess is we might probably see a duo release, and then that 3rd pair could be limited to like an exclusive friends and family drop or something like that. But for now, we got 3 different color codes leaking, confirmed that there will be 3 separate releases. But again, these Union Fragment Jordan 1s aren't set to drop until 2026. So let's go ahead and wait until we see what the finished product looks like. So far, we have seen the first 2 pairs, but we have yet to actually see what this 3rd one will look like. Again, this is just a mock-up photo, but just based off the early impressions, it seems like most people are leaning that would be the favorite of the bunch so far. And then guys, before we bounce, a huge update here. Now there's been rumors floating around about probably one of 2025's most anticipated releases. Well, as far as like OG general release Jordan retros goes, you got the Jordan 4 white cement, got the good Nike Air on the back. Last time we saw this classic release was 2016. Now rumors have been floating around now that this is supposed to have a lot of stock, big stock numbers, all that good stuff, which sounds great, but until we get some concrete sources confirming things, I wouldn't get too excited. But it looks like we got Eldon Monitors, who has confirmed now, they're saying biggest release of 2025 so far, and they're talking about availability wise. So that's a great thing, you know, for sneakerheads to be excited about. And when I say like, you know, a real source stamping this information, Eldon monitors, like low key, might be one of the most like important sources right now here in the sneaker space right now. I know everybody loves Z Sneakerheads, which they're holding it down. I'm not saying anything against Z Sneakerheads, but they've been wrong, you know, a few times here and there. Actually, they're usually wrong, you know, probably more so than Eldon monitors, but it doesn't take anything away from the great things they're doing over here. Only reason I'm pointing that out is just to put some respect on Eldon monitors who've been holding things down. Anytime you hear about stock numbers being reported on the back end, it always comes from them, and they've been holding us down with several huge leaks, behind the scenes images, all that good stuff you guys know. So by them stamping, this will be the biggest release. I'm taking that as 100% confirmed. You know, although they have been wrong a couple of times here and there, for the most part, they're like 9 times out of 10, you know, 100% accurate all the time. Now, when we talk about a drop like this, guys, remember, we're talking about the white cement 4s. You know, everybody wants to get their hands on these, and although they are confirming that this is going to be the biggest release of the year, I would say it's still not going to be easy, right? I would imagine that this could probably go down stock numbers wise as something like, say, the black cement 3s that we saw drop at the end of last year. So far, out of all of the releases we've seen released this year, it seems like Jordan Retros have been limited. It feels like the Black Cat 3s may have been like the biggest stock that we've seen so far, and those were pretty moderately easy to grab, like if you wanted them. So as far as these white cement 4s, the demand's gonna be really up there. But as far as stock, if these are going to be bigger, or they're going to have more pairs of these than the Black Cat 3s, I think we should have a good chance to grab these. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think everybody that wants these should be able to secure these. I would imagine this will probably go something like, say, like the black metallic 5s. Although everybody wasn't able to secure them, you know, they weren't like super difficult to cop in store. You should have been able to get your hands on them. Somehow I was even able to grab them joints off the Sneakers app. And of course, as y'all know, Jordan Brand continues to periodically restock a lot of these pairs, you know, later down the line. So as far as these white cement 4s, these are confirmed to be dropping later this month. So full family sizing. The great news is Eldon Monitors is stamping that the rumors are true, and this is going to be the biggest release of 2025. Well, at least so far. So stay tuned for more updates. Smash the like button if you guys are excited for this release. And for everybody that made it all the way through the end of the video, go ahead and let me know that you made it all the way to the end by dropping a salute in the comment section down below. So I'm JA, guys. I will catch y'all next time. A little bit under the weather, so shout out to TheraFlu for, like, you know, the good mess, you know, keeping things going. I am gonna get back to the live streaming and everything like that, but because I'm a little sick, I didn't jump into the live stream. But we got JA News pumping today, and then once I'm getting better and everything like that, we'll get rolling with the morning live streams and all that good stuff. So I appreciate everybody. Make sure y'all smash the like button. JA News. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out. Love.